you have to make a plan and do it step by step, because it's kind of similar with, I did a video the other day on diet and food, on about talking to people about giving you the optimal diet here, which is number 10 on the scale. If you're at number 1 on the scale, don't be scared of the fact of you've 1 to 10 and think, I can't do that, I won't even try. Just get from 1 to 3, 4, 5 first. That's going to be a huge improvement in your life, and then from there you can maybe build towards 10 eventually, but don't be scared by it. Which is the same thing with, with goals, with mindset, with discipline. You can kind of say, well, look, I'm here. This is where I'd like to get, but it's a huge jump to get there. And at first you start like everyone does, like with New Year's resolution, first couple of weeks, you're like, yeah, let's go, I'm going to do this. I'm every morning waking up and doing it. And 2 or 3 weeks, you've still got a huge way to go because it's a big change and people just give up. So having a plan not only gives you guidance, but it also gives you stepping stones, achievable chunks that you can do. Okay, here's my first target. Like, here I am, this is where I want to get to. Here's my first target, second, third, fourth, fifth. And you're just ticking off these small wins. Just, they might not seem like much, little small wins, but you tick off a few of them and suddenly you're halfway to your goal. And that is, I agree, the best way to improve your mindset and to improve your discipline. And as you kind of live by that and you stick strictly to your plan and keep achieving those little goals, it's going to, through positive reinforcement, going to encourage you to continue that. And it builds another important thing, which is momentum. If you can build some momentum in your life, you need to keep that up. That's why you need to be disciplined. You could spend 3 months really disciplined, working really well, building up momentum, working towards your goal. If you take 3 weeks, a month off it, you'd be pretty much back to square one. You don't lose that momentum. Keep that momentum, keep that discipline going, and work towards your goal. And that's what's going to get you there. That's what you need to do. Discipline, plan, momentum. They're all things that will help you to reach whatever it is you're trying to reach. Another thing I would add on for improving your mindset is daily affirmations. They're something that a lot of people I know use. I try to use them myself. And it's just, it kind of sounds, when people first tell you about it, you first hear about it, you think like, yeah, it sounds like a load of rubbish. Just wake up in the morning and tell myself positive things. Yeah, that's going to really change my life. Actually does. If you say it, you mean it. A lot of people say it's good to say it out loud into the mirror, kind of really saying it to yourself. And even if, on the outside, you're thinking it's a bit weird, your subconscious brain is taking it in. And if you tell yourself every morning you're a winner and you're giving yourself all this positive reinforcement, your brain's going to take that in. And that's how it's going to start to act. Anyone who's interested in mindset and the brain should do some research on, I think he's called the Mindset Doctor. Think his name's maybe Steve Peters, Dr. Steve Peters. He was on the Diary of a CEO podcast. I saw him in there. Really interesting stuff. He's wrote a couple books on it about the brain having kind of 3 different sections, like a mechanical, computerized, a monkey brain, and like a general common sense brain, and about how the different parts take over. And your monkey brain, the emotional one, kind of controls you quite a lot. And that's the kind of the part that you can train, that if you keep telling yourself these things, you can change your mindset. He used an example of having like an untidy person. If you just say, I'm untidy, that's how I am. When you go into an untidy room, it doesn't bother you. But if you keep telling yourself that you're a tidy person, and you can kind of convince your monkey brain, or chimp, I think he calls it chimp brain, actually, not monkey brain. If you can convince your chimp brain that you are a tidy person, when you walk into an untidy room, your chimp brain starts firing off. That's like the emotion. It's like, we don't like this. Don't like how this is untidy. We need to do something about it. And then you're going to want to tidy it. And again, when you kind of first hear things like that and listen, they just sound a bit weird, a bit far-fetched. But these things work. You can train your brain. You can convince yourself in a positive way, just like you can convince yourself in a negative way. And that's what most people do with self-doubt, with talking down on themselves. And people do it as humor, but it's not. Your brain's taking that in, and if you continually put yourself down, it's going to have an effect on you. It's going to really shape who you are. You keep telling yourself you're all these negative things. Guess what? Now you are those negative things. So people really got to be careful, I think, of what they're saying about themselves and to themselves. Don't put yourself down. You need to build yourself up. In terms of having personal responsibility, like we talk about, yes, you need to have that personal responsibility and maybe be critical of when you do things wrong, except they were you. But overall, you need to be your biggest fan. You know, if you want to be at a certain point, talk to yourself as if you're already at that point and build yourself up.